Welcome back to my channel. This is Wirehead the Clown, and I'd like to talk about upgrading the DX60A to the IC7300. I'm going to turn that rig into an ICOM IC7300 right before your very eyes. Having said that, what I really wonder is if anybody runs Linux, Mint Linux. And if so, I wonder if anybody's been tempted to upgrade via their upgrade path from version 19.x to version 20. So it's a scary prospect. It's a real scary prospect, but I've got several Linux computers, and the one you're looking at now is an IBM ThinkPad model T-420, and this is in my radio room, and this machine is a relatively simple machine, so it became my first victim. And I just want to talk about, should you upgrade from version 19 to 20? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, right. You know what, man? You want to kill your Linux system? Do it on your own. Don't blame me. On a serious note, I was avoiding this because I've been busy and I expected the worst, and I was, in some ways, pleasantly surprised. Should you upgrade? Well, you'll see your little notification. Click on it. It'll bring you to this page that talks about how you upgrade and what to do. So, most definitely do this step right here. Right here. Figure out which architecture you're running. 32 or 64-bit. And blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go through all that. It talks about preparation. It talks about create a system snapshot. Should you? Well, hell yes, you should. If you don't try upgrading your system. I'm a pretty careful Linux user. In the last, 15 years, I've killed one computer, and that is the one you're looking at now. But I did a time shift snapshot first, and after I killed it, and I killed it by playing around with apt. So after I killed it, I just booted off a live distro thumb drive and ran time shift and restored it. And within minutes, it was back to the way it was. So do that. Purge PPA and third-party repositories. I just went into my upgrade. I just went into my update manager, and I went to software sources. And I went to PPAs. I had a couple, one of them being CQRlog, my logger. I had to uncheck the box. I had to go to additional repositories. Google was there. Uncheck the box. I went to maintenance. I'm not going to go through the steps, right? It explains it all. Follow the directions. Upgrade, install the upgrade tool. Now then, you're going to be working from your terminal from here on out. And here's my experience doing so. Do this, install the upgrade tool, run Mint upgrade check. I did that, and it failed the check because of two things, and they were both related to what I just mentioned, CQRlog and Google. So, I shouldn't say Google. They were related to CQRlog and Google Chrome, which I had installed on this. it comes with Chromium by default, I believe still, but I had installed Chrome and it didn't like it. So I did what I mentioned to you. I went to the I did what they explained. I went to the I went to God dang, I always forget the name of the damn tool. The update manager. And then I had to do this. I had to go to maintenance, and I had to go to downgrade foreign packages. Once that was done, I carried forth with a procedure. After Mint upgrade check passed, then I did the biggie right there, Mint upgrade download. And when you do that in your terminal session, it's going to download just reams of files. I can't remember if it was in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. So, whoops. Do that. Apply the upgrades. That's your last chance to change your mind. If you run that command in your terminal session, the upgrade begins. And in my experience, it's not a hands-off process. You need to babysit the computer. I had stuff to do yesterday. I had places to go, and it seems like I'd sit here for 10 minutes watching it do its thing. It would prompt me with a question. I had to type why enter. So it's a cautious upgrade. You have to babysit it along the way. You have to keep giving it approval. I think I might have had to type yes, enter maybe 6 or 7 times. And I did that, and then I figured, well, we're good. I took off and went to take care of my sister's lawn. Came back 4 hours later, and I was sitting at a Microsoft EULA screen. Believe it or not, I had to agree to the EULA terms for Microsoft's True to Type. I can't speak today. Microsoft's True Type fonts on my system. What the hell? Do they still profit from their True Type fonts? I felt like I was stuck in a time warp, man. I was like, Jesus Christ, is this 1985 or is this... Oh my God. But anyway, so it did its thing and it completed. And it completed with no errors. I'll leave you at the troubleshooting hint. It completed and prompted me to reboot. While I was sitting here watching it finish its thing. Oh, I wish I could speak today. I knew we were coming to a close when I saw it setting up. When I saw it setting up the new kernel images. So it finished, it rebooted, and it ran. And that's where my interesting work began. So now then, I ran CQRlog, my logger, and immediately got the dreaded SQL server error. And so I expected it. So I did a little poking around, and I did everything you might think of to get CQRlog to connect to its database, and I couldn't. And I ended up, let me find a command that I used. Oh, you know what, man? No, it's not a command. Hang on. I'll minimize this. I want to show you a picture. I hope it's the right one. It is. Can you read that? I hope so. Sometimes when you do an upgrade on a Mint Linux system, it won't restart MySQL. So you have to invoke that command. And it will restart your MySQL server, or it will restart MariaDB server, I think. Anyway, so I had to invoke that command. And I did so, and I rebooted again, and no dice. Same thing. SQL server error. So I did a little reading. And I just Googled it. I can't remember what I Googled, but I saw this help screen, this help listed from the makers of CQRlog, right? So I read this document, and it's not long. It's like, yeah, there does seem to be a solution to get CQRlog running under Mint 20. And so this is for a fresh install, right? But look, here the same problem on Mint 20. Well, that's for a fresh install. So that told me, well, don't bother to try doing a fresh install. It probably won't help. So I started looking. The solution to install MariaDB manually and to install CQRlog manually from the terminal, because when you do that, it'll fetch all the dependency. If CQRlog needs MariaDB, it'll download and install MariaDB. So it's like, yeah, okay. So I figured, well, let's go back. I want to show you the pictures now, man. This is what I did. Okay. I tried to install MariaDB manually, like that, like what you just saw him suggest, and it couldn't. It wouldn't, because it was already installed. But so I figured, well, okay, I'll remove MariaDB. And this is the path to my success. Okay, all my babbling up to this point boils down to this. This got me going. Sudo apt remove MariaDB common, MariaDB server, and MariaDB client. Okay? Next step, sudo apt remove CQRlog. When that was done, next command, sudo apt install MariaDB common, server, and client. When that was done, and this only takes seconds, you know, when that was done, sudo apt install CQRlog. And when that was done, it installed without error. I exited. And I decided to, your little nag in the taskbar up there, it wanted me to run my system report, so I did. And yeah, it came up with one detected issue, and that being language packages for my LibreOffice suite. So I installed them, and that was happy, right? So are we full? Okay, so those are the photos I've taken. I want to show something in the terminal. If you type that command, cat//et/star release, what it'll do, it shows you your distro summary. So you can see I'm running Linux Mint 20 Ulyana. If you, I like pretty name equals Linux Mint 20. So I wanted to show this to prove. Here, let me hit my enter. See, you can see it's live, right? I want to show you that I'm running Linux Mint 20. I've told you what steps I've taken to try to get CQRlog to run. And let's see if it does. Oh, that should make a bozo out of me. There we go. Upgrading to Linux Mint 20. All my files were preserved. Nothing was lost. including with CQRlog, by the way. You saw the command I issued. I told apt to uninstall CQRlog, but in its, I won't say what directory it's in, but it did not remove the folder, the directory that CQRlog writes. So therefore, all my settings, everything was preserved. My log file was preserved. And yeah, CQRlog runs great under Linux Mint 20 if you do the steps I've taken. I'll let it back up my data just to show you that it is accessing the database. It's working normally. Hopefully that's a little help for you. Hopefully if you've been hesitant to install CQRlog because you're running Linux Mint version 19.3, as long as you create a time shift first, you should be fine. Don't even bother with anything else. Just manually run apt and uninstall MariaDB, uninstall CQRlog, then reinstall them via your apt in your terminal. And that's all I had to do. 73.